Welcome back to Flower Farm Fridays. I was thinking about where would I start today's episode because there's some sensational flowers blooming throughout the farm. And just a week ago, the buds of these roses were happening. And just about 3 days ago, these Pope John Paul II roses started blooming. And they smell like this creamy, amazing soap. This is like grandma's roses, and then look at how meaty these roses are. And then when you get up close, like I like to put my hands in the video so that you can see the scale of the rose, right? But they're all just blooming amazingly, and I've never smelled anything more sensational. And the name of this rose is called Pope John Paul II, and we have it in this like cornucopia of roses that go all this way. And they smell sensational. I can't get enough of them. And then look at this little bee right here. So this little bee is like resting for the night. That's where it's going to sleep. And I like observing like where the insects and the birds go to when they're resting, and they obviously need rest just like we all do. And just to like the west of this cornucopia of flowers, you have what is called the sunset arch, and on the summer solstice the sun aligns with this, and this points directly at the sun. And the sunsets are spectacular behind here, and so we've had some celebrations of life. We've had a few ceremonies, etc. So this is a really cool part of the farm, and when June 21st comes around, I'm definitely going to show you closer so you can really see how cool that is. One of the things that I've gotten real keen on is the sounds of nature and what certain pollinators and certain birds and animals sound like. And so because I've been here for 14 years and I spend a lot of time outside in the garden, I can tell you what season it is by the sounds of the birds and the pollinators that are around, and just the night sounds of certain animals. So it's really cool when you tap into that. And so one of the things that just happened is that I found this killdeer that was making a big fuss out of me being near its nest. And so I have this really cool little nest I want to show you right here that I'm standing by, and I want to be careful not to mash it, but look at this. So, see this? It's not cool. Anyway, but this killdeer is so funny and fascinating because they make this really distinct sound. There it is right there. It's trying to get my attention so that it's trying to get my attention so that I would get away from its nest. And they always do that weird thing with their wing. They make a fuss. They try to get their predators to get away from them. And so the sounds of the killdeer this year are, they're here, they're nesting, they do their thing, and they move on. And several years ago, we had one that they placed their eggs right in the middle of our parking lot on the gravel, and a Greyhound bus literally pulled up like 5 feet from it. So to protect them, I created these cones that made out of sticks to protect the nest. And that bird obviously didn't know that it was putting its nest in a parking lot, but fortunately they've done their little nest here. A lot of people don't walk through here, and I'm gonna put something on it to protect people from going on it. But that's a killdeer, and if you haven't heard their sounds, or if you already know about them, then they're almost comical to me because they have a really funny vibe about them. They're so funny and goofy the way that they behave. I love I love observing nature. See, and I'm far away from your nest. I'm not going to bother them. You guys can relax. All right, guys. Go back to your nest. You're fine. That right there is the killdeer that I was just talking about, and it's trying to get my attention, and so I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt your nest, but that's what the sounds it makes when it wants to get you away from its nest. So I don't want to stress that poor bird out, but that's the distinct sounds that you hear when you're paying attention. So anyway, I'm going to take you through, and I'm going to show you a few more things that are happening this weekend. And so if any of you are within driving distance and you want to come to our flower farm and take a walk, have brunch, pick your own bouquet, we have gorgeous sweet peas and some Nigella and some beautiful bachelor buttons that make beautiful bouquets. And I'm going to take you over there right now and show you a few more things that are peaking and happening on the farm. These are Wallerton Old Hall roses, and they are amazing. They're an apricot blush peony-like rose, and see, like, some of them are a little bit more apricot-y, and then some of them are more blush. So they have like different little stages as they develop. But I would say like this one right here is definitely a apricot color, and then they open up into this really, really nice awesome English rose. Like, look at this. This one is perfection. Okay, so like, I don't know what else to say. This thing is like an orange, like a apricot peony. After seeing these roses and waiting for 3 years to pull the trigger, I am sure that this was the right choice, because they grow all the way to the very far end of the farm. So they go all the way from over there where those trees are, and then they come along this north fence and then all the way back there to where those trees are. So that wasn't an easy decision to make, because like, what if I didn't like the rose? You know, that would have been a really bad mistake. But boy, am I glad that I did it, because look at that. It's just there's something else. And for the next few weeks we have these available in our store. So they're really special this time of year. It's not your typical rose bouquet that you can just get. So they're called Wallerton Old Hall, and they're all planted on a, you have a background of apricot, and then you have a floor of lavender that runs the whole way. And then, so it's just like a really nice way to paint with flowers and trees. And boy, the smell of just walking over this lavender that's got kicked up is amazing. And so soon, this is all going to do its thing. It's going to get even more beautiful. So I'll just keep sharing every Friday what we have going on here on the farm. These are the row of cardoons. Many people think that these are artichokes, but they're actually cardoons. And the reason why there's more cardoons here than artichokes is because gophers like them and like artichokes, but they don't like cardoons. And so this is like literally the only artichoke in this row, because when I planted it originally, it was half a row of cardoons and half a row of artichokes, and now there's only cardoons because the gophers don't like cardoons. And I actually like the cardoon better because it dries nicer. What a difference 1 week makes. Like, the sweet peas now have climbed up the hog wire that we got from a salvage yard, and they've these come back every year. They're along the fence. They just sort of reseed themselves. This whole row has reseeded itself. And then look what's going to happen when I come around the corner. You can almost faint when you see this, because this is a spectacular, amazing display of sweet peas. And what we have is, we have the sweet peas on the hog wire. They go forever. They smell sensational right now. And then you have this awesome row of bachelor buttons all right there, which are this really beautiful, like purplish royal blue. And then in front here we have these gorgeous Nigella, which these flowers are called Love in a Mist. Okay, so they're really exciting because they look like crowns, and they're just beautiful, gorgeous crowns. And then behind them you have these candy cane looking pods. So these flowers first do this, and then they go to seed. And then, if you don't know this, when they're dry, you can crack this pod and you can eat the seeds. They taste like something you would put on a cupcake. So look up Nigella seeds, because they're actually a product. And to me, I would describe them as something you would put on a cupcake. They have like a really sweet taste to them. But they come in these colors. Here you have these bluish ones, and then you got these white. So you got all three, two different colors of flowers, and you've got these stages of these like candy cane pods. So we dry them, and we put them in our dry bouquets, and I can't get enough of all this. It's really something. Look at all this salsify. It's all over the place, and it's so nice because just this time of year we get these blooms, and they only literally last like a day or day and a half, and then they go to these beautiful giant pods, which I'll be showing you here in a minute. But it's so cool. Like some of these flowers that only bloom for a day, they're just giving us a glimpse of their beauty and that gift of enjoying them. And I almost feel if I don't like enjoy them all, they're gonna go unappreciated. So, and anyway, so they're all here, and then all these are gonna go to bloom, and they're gonna be these giant pods. So it'll be fun to see them go to through that change. So from this flower, then they go to these like interesting pods, and then they form the big dandelion thing. They just add like a really nice, pop of surprise this time of year. And I almost like live my seasons through what's blooming and what pollinators and birds are out. It's really cool. I could guess what time of year it is by the sounds of nature and by what's blooming or happening in our trees. It's an interesting and amazing gift to be able to be in the rhythm of nature for so many years, and just observing what's happening. And so appreciating these flowers and the countryside and the beauty is a huge gift in my opinion. So wanted to share with everybody so you can see how wonderful they are. You know how I talk about how certain plants and trees and flowers remind me of friends? So this variety is called Sally Holmes, and this was given to me by my good friend Shawnee. And look at that. These are just like singles, all right? And it climbs up. It's a climber, and it goes all the way up here like this, the top of that ridge. It's called Sally Holmes, and it always reminds me of my good friend Shawnee, who is like a very creative influence in my life. And I'm just like relishing and seeing all the things that remind me of the seasons and of my good friends. And then we also have the Lady of Shallot roses growing along the side of the fence. They smell sensational right now. Can you believe these? They're just opening up just in time for this beautiful weekend when lots of people are going to come here and enjoy them. They have a great color to them, and they just go on and on and on. So it's magical. Well, I hope everyone has had a good week and that you have some gardening or something creative in mind for this weekend. I have spent a good deal of my day harvesting sweet peas and roses and putting them in jars and bouquets because we're expecting a lot of people to come to our flower farm this weekend. And so I'm standing here amongst the sweet peas and the bachelor buttons and the Nigella, and it's Friday evening. I can't get enough of what's happening here, and I'm just so happy to be able to share our garden with you. And I can't thank all of you enough for being part of the ride that we're on and being on this journey of sharing nature and love with people. And so my focus is to share with you what we have blooming every week so you can enjoy it. And for those of you that can come here, we'll see you on the weekends. And I just want to say goodbye and wish you a great weekend. And I hope that everyone is having fun doing something creative or playing in your garden. Have a great weekend.